Thinking a lot about like the delayed gratification thing and how it relates to a herpes diagnosis. You see, a lot of us, we just think either we were wrong, so I'm not going to disclose to the next person, but that's like punishing someone else who doesn't deserve it. Or, if I just don't tell anybody, maybe I can get by without ever passing it. And that's could be true. You can go your whole life never passing it. And whether you disclose or not, kind of a moral question. But for me, it begs the question of like, what discomfort do you want to live with? Do you want to live with the discomfort of a potential rejection, a quick thing that you're honestly going to forget about in weeks, definitely months, hopefully hours? Or do you want to live with the discomfort of getting to know someone, sleeping with them, or worse off, getting into a full-on relationship or a marriage with the secret herpes status that you never told them about? Now, you can play your odds and never give anybody herpes and maybe scoot on by through life keeping this entirely a secret. But what if you give it to someone and you didn't even tell them, and this is like your husband or your wife or something? It's going to be a little bit of an awkward conversation, and I know from past experience from coaching clients who reached out to me, it's a bit of an awkward conversation and a bit harder to buy back someone's trust when you've already slept with them and not told them. So pick your discomfort. Now, the reason this was the worst piece of advice is because it's going to slowly mold the way that you see yourself, the way that you see your diagnosis, and the way that you approach your life. I truly believe that the longer you go down the wrong path, the harder it is to kind of like unwind and get back to the right path. If you want a quick 3-step process to overcome your diagnosis, first link in the description. It's how I help my coaching clients. But I do think that if you can just get a handle on the right track from the get-go, whether that's when you come across my videos or whether it's when you're newly diagnosed, you're going to have an easier time. And you don't want to go down the path where you reinforce that you have to hide this, where you can't tell someone. And one of the best ways to identify where you're struggling when it comes to your diagnosis is just sort of like reverse engineer everything. So ask yourself why. So you get diagnosed and you don't want to tell anybody. And you ask yourself when you do some journaling, why don't you want to tell anybody? And just go down back to like whatever it was, Socratic questioning. I don't want to tell anybody because I might get rejected. Well, if they're going to reject you for herpes, respectfully, that is a risk that we have to essentially live with compared to the guilt of not telling them. If they're ignorant or judgmental, it's a great way to filter people out from the get-go